Hey guys, this is RP and welcome back to my test world. Today we're taking a look at the 14w06a snapshot. This snapshot adds a lot of cool commands. And first of all, since I didn't really get to show you last time the 14w5a snapshot, I'm going to review that real quick before we start the 14w6a snapshot. So let's go to the snapshots. I actually made an area for this now. And over here, we got the 5A snapshot. And first of all, we got a barrier block now, which is absolutely amazing. It's basically an invisible block. And this is very useful for map makers for sure. Before you had to do a fancy trick with doors, flipping them. I think you could do it with ladders too, but you could climb those even though you couldn't see them. But now we got an actual full block, and I think it's very, very cool. I like it a lot. Very useful, and also you can not get it in the creative menu. Same goes as command blocks. You can only get it by doing the give command, so /give player and then Minecraft barrier. And the icon looks like this, like a little red ring with a line through it. Also, now we got a few changes with F3 once again. As you can see, the X, Y, and Z coordinates are now set in the same row. We got the exact coordinates, the block coordinates, you got chunks, and just in general, all this is entirely remade, and I think it looks pretty cool. One thing I don't like is the grayish border around the text. I think that's something you need to get used to though, but yeah. So we also now have a new game mode. We have game mode 3, and this is called spectator mode. As you can see, I have no line around me. I can punch, I can destroy nothing, but I can fly. I can fly through blocks, and this is very cool. This is something map makers have wanted for PvP games for absolutely ages. I also think this may be useful for cutscenes, maybe. Yeah, people will have to look a bit through that, but I think this may actually be a very useful thing for cutscenes in adventure maps. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard about this spectator mode, so that may be very, very cool. Let's go back to creative real quick, and now we're going to look through. I could have sworn I put some mobs in there. We're going to spectate mobs. That's right, we can spectate mobs. And if we spawn a creeper real quick, we go into spectator mode and we left click the creeper. We have freaking creeper vision. That is so cool. And we cannot control where it's going or anything. We're only looking from the creeper's perspective. So if we want to get out, we shift click to dismount, just as every other vehicle. We got the spider too. Let's take a look at that one. Pretty cool. I really like this spider vision. Looks pretty fancy. Let's take a look at the Enderman. As far as I'm aware, the cave spider looks the same as the regular spider, so no reason to show you that. But the Enderman, that guy is pretty cool. As you can see, he's teleporting around, showing my test world right now. He has negative vision, as we call it. And I'm sorry for you, Cyphos, if this is how you see. I'm sorry. Must be terrible always having this vision. But yeah, let's get back over here real quick. And that is that. Now minecarts got a pretty cool new change with activator rails. So if we launch this minecart to the activator rail here, we see that it starts acting very weird. It starts flipping, it starts being very weird. If you push it back real quick, go into the minecart, press the button, we get launched off immediately. Let's try that again. So when it hits the activator rail, we get launched off immediately. This is very cool for more automatic minecart designs, and it only happens when the minecart is activated. So if we turn it off, go into the minecart, you can see nothing happens. We can even press the button to activate it and we get launched off immediately. So that is really cool. And I guess now let's go to the 14w06a snapshot finally. First, we got a new argument for the effect command. So basically now if we press this button, we get jump boost. As you can see, you can jump pretty high, but we do not have any particles at all. You cannot see the effects, the particles from the effect, where before you could always see the particles, which is kind of annoying. And if we set this to false, oops, not false, we can actually now see the particles. So this little true thingy here actually removes the particles. As you can see, I can still jump high, and that's a very cool thing, definitely useful for map makers. These few snapshots add a lot for map makers, that's for sure. So that is very cool. Next, we got some more for adventure mode. So if we press this button, I now get a redstone block. And if we go into adventure mode, you can see I cannot place it anywhere, but I can place it on a redstone block. This is basically a new thing inside curly brackets. So we can give ourselves a Minecraft redstone block, and we can type in can place on Minecraft redstone block. This basically adds a new argument for the, let's go into creative, for any block at all. Actually, you could do this with anything. The last thing I have to cover for this episode is the barrier blocks, and this was something added in the 14w06a snapshot. I just showed you the barrier blocks in the 5a snapshot, but they added something cool in the 6a, and that is if you hold a barrier block in creative, the blocks will turn visible. And that's something very useful because obviously if you work with barrier blocks, you want to be able to see them, and that's what this pretty much adds. And so if you remove it from your hand, they will slowly start disappearing. There's a lot of new cool commands too, like the slash trigger command. If you want a full list of the new commands and the new arguments and all that pretty cool stuff for the scoreboards and stuff, I highly recommend you checking out Seth Bling's review. He did a pretty good job. And so that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.